Hello, everyone. This is your coach, Geeta Dubey, and welcome back to my channel. And today, the topic which I'll be discussing is, I think, one of the really important one these days, where we are trying to understand what is emotional intelligence, and also we're trying to figure out what is the power of emotional intelligence. Now, as we all know, emotional intelligence is directly related to the relationships you have with yourself or you have it with others. So it's a very important learning which we'll be discussing today. And also, I'll be mentioning 3 steps where you could take immediately if you want to become more emotionally intelligent person, which would definitely help you in your life, whether it's in the form of your professional life or your personal life. So before I do that, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also press bell icon and the like button, and also feel free to share it with somebody. They might need to hear this at this point of time. So without taking any longer, so let's get started. So the question which we'll be addressing today is, did you know that the key to better relationships in both life and business lies within emotional intelligence? So how many, you can just write in the chat whether you knew that all your relationships are directly uh, probably related to how emotionally intelligent you are. If the answer is yes, that's great, you knew about it. But if the answer is no, let's keep going. So the first question which will come to your mind is, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is an ability to recognize and understand our emotions as well as the emotions of others. It's a crucial skill that can help us to navigate through any relationship with empathy and authenticity. Now, we think that most of the times that we know ourselves very well. So why would I say that? Because once you start understanding what is emotional intelligence, you would realize that there were so many things which you were overlooking. When I say that, I mean it because sometimes we feel that we understand all our emotions, we understand all our thought processes, we understand all the behaviors we have. But there's so much more learning required when we do so, right? So emotional intelligence basically touch upon them. Like we hardly forgot like how many number of emotions are there, how we should be literally reacting to a situation, all those things. So emotional intelligence give us that ability, that understanding, that recognition of understanding our own emotions as well as emotions of other people. So what are the benefits of emotional intelligence? So once we develop emotional intelligence, we become more better listeners. So what I mean by listeners is most of the times you would find that people are in such a hurry that they forget to even probably listen to other person. You know, they just listen half story of most of the things and rest they probably fabricate. I'm just saying. So you have to be really in the present moment to listen to somebody, and that is known as active listening. So emotional intelligence definitely helps with that. More empathetic. This is such a big skill we need to have in this present day. And why would I say that? Because once you become empathetic, once you are able to put yourself in other person's shoes, you're able to understand their perspective. You're able to understand what they are going through. Now, when you're putting yourself in other person's shoes, you have to drop all the judgments. That's an important skill to learn, right? So we are not able to drop all the judgments when we are thinking from other person's perspective. And lastly is like a better equipped to handle conflicts and solve problems. Once you're emotionally intelligent, you are definitely better equipped to deal with any adversity in your life. So we'll talk about the emotional intelligence in personal life, how emotional intelligence can help you in your personal life. So in our lives, emotional intelligence allows us to build a stronger connections with our loved ones. We can communicate our feelings effectively, understand their perspective, and offer support when they need it the most. So, whenever you are emotionally intelligent person, you would realize that the usual norms of the societies you would not be able to follow. And why would I say that? Because once you're emotionally intelligent, you would know when to talk, when to do, when to support people, when not to. So you are so aware of your emotions and you're so much in control of your emotions, like you know how to control your emotions so well that you are able to take any task the way it comes, right? So you're not your emotions are not controlling you, you are controlling and managing your emotions. So like I said, so you become more open about what you feel and how would you react, and people find it very authentic once you do so. So they'll try to connect to you at a deeper level. Emotional intelligence in business life. Now, in business world, emotional intelligence is vital for building successful teams, establishing strong professional relationships. When we are emotionally intelligent, we can easily collaborate with others, inspire trust, lead with compassion and understanding. So once you become an emotionally intelligent person, like I said, you develop that kind of deep connection with the people where they understand you well, and not only you can understand other people and you can lead them, you can become an inspiration for them. So it plays a vital role in building a successful business or professional relationships. Now, the question you would have is, how can we develop an emotional intelligence? So this is the step number one. We need to become aware of our emotions and how they affect our thoughts and actions, correct? So you must understand that our emotions are the primary driver when we are talking about thoughts. So when we say talk about thoughts, as we all know from our subconscious mind, every day you get roughly around 70,000 thoughts in your conscious mind. And to remind you, those almost 70,000 out of those, approximately 95% of those are negative in nature. So when a thought is combined with an emotion, like a feeling out of it, and then it becomes more so like before you take any action, you need to think about. Now, what I'm talking about, let's say you have a negative thought, and if it's a negative emotion attached to it, so eventually you will act out negatively as a behavior. But if you have a thought, let's say all of a sudden you're sitting, you just remembered something from 5 years back or 10 years back, correct? And all of a sudden remember that. And to that experience of yours, a negative thought, emotion was attached, like you were feeling sad about it. Let's say sad is an emotion, so you were thinking something from the past and you were feeling sad about it. Now, once you're feeling sad about it, now your behavior, the action you take in the next step depends on that. So whenever I would encourage you, whenever you are thinking or any thought of yours is coming, become very aware of it. And the first thing you need to think, okay, this is a thought, right? The next step is you're thinking about is your emotion attached to it. Let's say it was a happy thought, it's all good. If it's a sad thought, angry thought, anything, any other than those of thoughts, guilt, shame, any of those, then you have to think about it. And that before you take the third step in the form of behavior or action, I want you to take a pause here and think if this is relevant to the present day or not. Because most of my clients whom I work with or the people I work with, they had a thought, it was from the past, but the emotion was extremely strong with that thought and they acted out as if it was happening right now. So that could have a lot of repercussions, correct? So I know it's not an easy exercise, but please become more aware of your emotions and the thought behind it. Sometimes, rather, I would say most of the times, if something has happened in the past, that might not be relevant to the present day. So please pay attention to that, right? And before you take or act it out in the form of behavior or you take any action according to it. Okay, so step number one, it's a thought. Step number two is also emotion attached to it. And after step number 1 and 2, take a pause, which I always say. think about it whether it's relevant or not, and then accordingly take your action. Okay. So what is going to be the step number 2? The second step you can take is we need to practice empathy towards others. So before we do empathy towards others, how honest are you with your own emotions? You have to start practicing that. So become very honest to your own emotions. Like, for instance, if you are angry with somebody, then just honor your emotion that you're angry. Okay. Or you're happy with somebody, just honor your emotion that you're happy with that person. Put ourselves in their shoes, listen attentively, and seek to understand their perspective without judgment. Correct? So whenever somebody is trying to tell you about their problems, issues, struggles, or anything, so just remember that you have to put yourself in their shoes, and also you need to understand that, literally understand from the point of that you're feeling their emotions as well. But if that cannot be done, that's okay. And but the next step is important. You have to drop all the judgments. Correct? So if somebody is telling you about something, so you just need to see as it is. Okay, you don't need to put any of your own stories around. Just accept it and as it is. So you have to drop all your judgments. It takes practice, but yes, it is doable. What is going to be the step number 3 in becoming more emotionally intelligent person? So in this one, the last day, we need to manage our emotions very effectively. So once you start becoming, number 1, you're aware of your emotions and thoughts, and then number 2, becoming more empathetic with the people, and number 3, you have to find a very healthy outlets such as exercising or journaling to release any negativity and maintain a positive mindset. Now, these two particular, exercising and journaling, has been scientifically proven. That's why I have stated them here. So there is a big data shows whenever you are aligning your mind and body at the same time, it really helps you. It really helps with your mental status, and of course, it really helps you to release any negativity you're forming around any situation in your life. Now, when I talk about exercise, I want to tell you all that exercise does not mean that going to gym. Exercise also means that you're basically taking some breaks with little walks at your home or at your workplace or at your business. So please don't get confused that I have to go to a gym, I have to form, I have to be in some shape or body. Nothing of that sort is required. You just need to calm your mind down where your mind and your body are kind of aligned for a few minutes. So you can take breaks. Yes, you can just do 5 minutes walk and then you can take a break. That's fine too. There's nothing wrong with it. And you can just need to be very consistent with it since you're working and you're becoming more emotionally intelligent. Okay, now let's see for any reasons you're not able to walk. Journaling, so simple. Now journaling, I don't mean that you type something, correct? Let me be very clear. Journaling literally means that you will be writing with your own hands on the piece of paper. It would only take 5 minutes. You don't have to go beyond 5 minutes. You can just do it for 5 minutes, but do it. These two things, exercising and journaling, are really scientifically proven. Almost, I think, 48% the mental status of anybody who starts doing it. And that's a huge thing when you are just beginning to understand who you are, and eventually it becomes more increased. So it becomes like when you're talking about when you're doing it for a few months, you see a significant change of almost 70%. But in the beginning, you will have some resistance to do so, but just pick one, whichever you are resonating with, either exercise or journaling. Just do it. Just do it for a few days, at least for 30 days, or if you can go up to 90 days, it will be great. So what were the key points for today's video? So I talked about 3 things. The 3 steps you can start taking it today and to become more emotionally intelligent. Then number 1 was that you become more aware of your emotions and thought processes. Number 2, you become more empathetic and you have to drop all the judgment for anybody who's trying to engage you in conversation. And number 3 is basically picking any of these 2 exercises, which is either exercising or a journaling, which would help you to basically calm your mind down and also get in touch with your own emotions. Okay, so you can try any one of those. So we can enhance our relationships both personally and professionally while doing all these things, and we can create more harmonious world filled with understanding, respect, and collaboration. Correct? So once you do all these, so you're able to collaborate very well with the people, you respect them more, you form more deeper connections. And of course, you become a very emotionally intelligent person. So, with that, thank you so much for watching today. And please don't forget to press bell icon and like button. Also, share some comments and do share the video to other people, as someone might need to hear this at this point of time. All right, so do write in your comments that which one of them you thought you connected most. Any of those 3 steps, and you think you can start doing it from today. You can visit my website, which is www.geetadube.com, and you can definitely, last but not least, to subscribe to my channel, which would give me huge encouragement. And I'll be back with more business growth tips, with life and motivational coaching tips. So with that I would end this session, and I hope you all have a wonderful